Is he on his way?
It looks like it. Let me see. When he sent this. I can't tell, so I would wait, give him a couple minutes and go ahead and start. I
That's
think he's
fine.
in the middle of some discussions, he probably isn't texting often. We're gonna wait for the solicitor anyway.
Yep. Car sales slow up over there, Brandon?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
Yeah, it all comes in waves.
Yeah, it does.
Seems like,
Sure.
you know.
They sure have enough vehicles around.
Yeah.
Jeez. What's with the blue
What's that?
in town at the Chevy dealer? All
Oh,
those blue trucks.
oh,
There's like 8 or 10 up there. Here it comes.
I can unlock this door. I can unlock this door.
I did.
Okay, thank you.
I miss Judy.
Did you bring her eggs?
She wants me to fill it up.
And Betsy. You need to come in before you leave, right? You got a mess? How do you feel? How's the work? Good, that's good. Otherwise, it's not good. Yeah. How are you this evening?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
Where involved are you? This one I'm flooded. Yeah. Yeah.
John, how are you doing tonight?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
good.
Hey, Brian.
There you go.
You could come more often.
What's that?
You could come more often. Look at the envelope sitting there.
Oh, or when you get an envelope every time you show up.
So he did have his shots?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Hey, glad to see you can make it.
Wow.
Right on time, dude.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Well, I won't sit down then. We stand for the pledge of allegiance, please. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mr. Barlow?
Here.
Mr. Kyhold?
Here.
Mr. Lowe?
Here.
All right. Let's go on with public comments. Any public comments at this time?
I have a couple.
Okay.
They're more on questions than comment, well, a little bit both. So, at the end of Rich Trail, there's a whole row of trees. You can't see to go out there. So, is our private road considered a driveway or a private access road? Because I know as a driveway, you have to have a, what is it, 75 feet of visible, whatever, but if it's an access drive, you have to have 100 feet of visibility. So I'm just trying to, like, what it's considered.
Well, the private, I don't know, I'll have to look into private road,
Okay.
but along township roads, it's a 75-foot, not a 100-foot sight distance from
Okay.
the stop sign looking at those. It's a 150 radius overall, so it's a 75, 150. I'll have to look into that, I will look into that about
Okay.
how that reflects on its private road enters its township road.
Right. And that's the thing, I don't even know if the tree, like, is that part of the development or is that part of the neighbor?
Should be private since it's private.
Right,
It's
that's
supposed to be
what I'm saying.
private
I don't know.
since it is private.
So I don't know where to start with that. But I know the thing says like no, maybe it was 3 foot tall at one point, but now they're way evergreen, you can't see through them. So that's the first one. The second one is the water runoff. I know we've been talking a lot about water runoff and storm runoff. So the biggest issue that, you know, we're gonna take care of the roads, but in order for us to do that, we need the water to not keep washing it out. There's two houses in particular on Rich Trail that the whole road's washed out of because every time it rains, the road comes right out, or the water comes right out onto the road, and that's where the road's destroyed. I mean, you drive back there, you can see where the road's just tore up in that section.
Comes down to Risk, you're saying?
No, on Rich Trail.
On
Like,
Risk.
yeah, like when it rains hard, a lot of the rain comes down off of Straw's Ball, hits there, and then that joins that, and it's a lot of water. I mean, they get it on both sides of the road. So one side there's just all landowner, there's no people, but on the other side there's a couple homes. So I guess my question is, can we do some kind of assessment back there to have these people make sure that their road frontage is clear? I mean, according to the ordinance, it's up to, even on public or private roads, says the owner will be given notice and required to make necessary corrections to bring the driveway and drainage into compliance.
Well, the driveways, yes, under our ordinances, they're supposed to have, the 15-inch pipe
Right.
in their driveways. A lot of those driveways did not get done that way when they were building them.
Yeah.
And, so now they're grandfathered in because it's
Right.
part of the ordinance.
But there's some that don't even have.
And some don't even have,
Yeah.
that's exactly right. And again, we can't go back, unless I'm wrong, and make them do something that was done prior to the ordinance.
Because then that water, I'm sure you see, brings all the stones out on the Bullfrog Road.
Yeah, and that's a
And goes
stormwater,
down.
those are stormwater management issues, and stormwater management is,
Right.
actually handled by the Land Conservation District and
Okay.
Mr. Ryan.
Okay.
He deals with stormwater management.
So he would be the best person to get a hold of for
You
that?
can contact him
Okay.
and ask him about the stormwater management running off of people's property
Okay.
onto the private roads, and he can direct you on that.
Alright. And then the last thing I have is, I've been told that you're allowed campgrounds in the residential development, and I'm trying to understand, because we have, I'm sure you know the one guy that's been back there forever in a camper. There's no driveway to his lot, so is that considered a campground, is it not? and then I have one that's like two lots down from me now that I have to drive past every day that literally looks like a junkyard or a safari that has a driveway in it. So it's like, what is it?
Well, she doesn't have a camper in there, that's why you and I confronted that time. She's not camping there, she's from Maryland, she
Yeah.
just comes up and visits her wife.
Yeah.
But until she actually has a camper sitting in there, then there's really nothing to do, she comes in such a lot.
Right.
The other guy's in jail. He's been in jail for quite some time, because he hasn't, you know who I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah, it's probably been close to 2 years.
He's been in jail for 2 years, and he
Yeah.
was,
We are-
that's one reason he's in jail, because he was doing things he wasn't supposed to, and
Right.
he was cited, and
You
he
didn't have a license.
So he's in jail.
Okay.
But that's the issue with that property there.
Alright. So with the one she doesn't have a camper there, I mean, what about the junk? I mean, it's literally like,
Well,
landscaping's one thing, but I mean, she's literally got like metal fencing just like lashed together. It looks like an African tiki hut or some shit.
we can have the zoning guy go out and take a look at that, that's what we can do, we can have him take a look at that and see, determine what exactly is going on there.
Right.
That location's on the same side of the road before we get up towards your house.
Yes.
It's two houses. It's mine. If you're going down towards Rest, it'd be mine, then Seth, then this lady has two
This
lots.
was the girl you talked to,
Mm-hmm.
during that time, you stopped and asked her what she was doing?
Oh yeah, the whole neighborhood one.
Yeah. Alright,
But
yeah,
yeah.
we can send him out, take a look at that, and see
Okay.
what's going on, cause if she's got grown any more than what
She
she was.
hasn't been here for a long time, so
Yeah.
like
When she comes, does she come at a particular time of the week, like weekends
or
or?
I could literally go through the week, one the week. I mean, it's usually later, so I don't know if it's like after work, whatever. Weekends, it can be whenever.
That's
So
what
like I
she
said,
said.
we haven't seen her back there probably a month, which is weird because she used to be back there literally 2-3 times a week.
Sure.
So I don't know, but
Yeah, we'll investigate that and see what's going on with her.
alright.
Anything else?
That's it.
Anyone else for public comment? Okay. Supervisor comment. Bobby?
I really don't have anything.
Ray?
I don't know, maybe.
All right, and I'm good too. All right, we're going through the minutes for September 6th meeting, a regular meeting. Did everyone have an opportunity to review those minutes?
Yep.
Do I have a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, the next one's gonna be your treasurer's report for September. Does everybody have an opportunity to review the treasury report?
Yep.
And we'll have a motion to approve the treasury report.
Make a motion to approve the treasury report.
And I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next we have our expenses, from 9/7/22 to 10/4/22. These are retroactive, these are the payroll. Do I have a motion to pay a payroll for 8/28/22 to 9/10/22?
So moved.
Okay. Second,
I'll second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Payroll from 9/11 to 9/24. I'll make a motion to pay that.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, now let's go back up at the invoices because I didn't get an motion for the invoices. I caught myself right here. So, do I have a motion to pay our invoices from 9/7 to 10/4?
I make a motion to approve the invoices.
And a second?
Good by me.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good, thank you. Let's go here to the Township Police report. Does anybody, I have it here somewhere.
There's a copy of it inside the packet.
Yep, I got it right here. All right, so the police report for the month of September, they say they worked 260 hours, they drove 1,696 miles. They had 7 911 calls, 25 traffic citations, 3 faulty equipments. They used 101.96 gallons of fuel. PSP was called out 9 times in the township. They handed out 3 warnings and 0 non-traffic. In Freedoms, they had 25 hours, they did 36 citations in Freedom. They had 2 911 incidents and 16 warnings. Highland Township, they did 25 hours, 21 citations, 4 911 calls, and 6 warnings. They received a grant, a notification of the grant they applied for the car, which you guys were aware of. We were granted the whole amount of the car, so now they're in the process of ordering a new vehicle and getting it. Supposedly, it may be available to be put on the streets in February. They also continue to work on a grant, other grants for the police department. In accordance with the police policy manual, bottle cans over 60 days need to be purged, so she's in the process of purging that. And that's the police report. Zoning, sewer, zoning permits. So we had 2 Second Chance has a permit for 200 applied for the permit for a 280 by horse shed for $100. Storage shed on Sanders. On Blackwood Road, isn't it?
That's not a well permit.
Yeah, it's a well permit, okay.
That's not a well permit.
No.
That's in the state.
That's a mistake, what I'm saying, that's kind of, okay. Renewals for a sitting room for $45 and an extended patio addition for another $100 for a total of $345 in permits for September. Okay. Some of the other things going on with, the zoning department is they went through court a couple of times for this 2650 Bullfrog Road, that's an ongoing violation. At 3257 Bullfrog Road, that is still an ongoing violation too, but they had court dates for it. The 340 Brent Road, Fairfield, the uncommitted earth disturbance in compliance was due August the 30th. Last I spoke, Ms. Rusty, was yesterday. That's still an ongoing issue.
What's going on with that, if I may ask? I mean, they just haven't applied.
That's just something to apply with DEP. And so DEP's handling that, but,
I believe she gave him another extension to October, was the latest.
right. So, there's where we're at with that one there.
Mr. Barlow?
Yes.
And Andrew's, do you have Andrew's email, the zoning officer's email? I think he asked a question, he did ask the board for a motion for something.
No, I do not have an email, unless it's
You
in
do,
it.
you have it, and I believe I saw it there. Is when he was reporting on the violations. If you don't, I can grab it.
I had this one here, it sent,
Is that from Andrew?
yes,
Okay, he has a question.
if you have any questions, okay,
Where is this? Is this Andrew?
yeah.
Here. He asked you a question here.
Oh,
How would the township, okay?
How would the township like to proceed, file additional citations or file the court of common pleas? The board needs to decide what we wanna do. If we wanna continue going back to the magistrate and he's,
This is on McMaster's.
these are on all 3 of these prices. Yeah, this is on, 2650 Bullfrog, 3257 Bullfrog, and the 603,
That is the
Our
one he
ball
just
valve.
recently.
yeah, that's a recent one.
For the
What he's
junk
asking
car.
is,
The junk cars.
yes. he did.
Well, there's also, I don't know if you had a chance to read my email response to that, there's also the option of having the police department file a criminal nuisance complaint.
Yes, I did see that.
So, last time we discussed this in executive session, you didn't wanna proceed with going to Adams County because of all the costs involved.
Correct.
I know I've mentioned the police option several times in the past. I don't know if it ever got over to them or if they're not interested.
It's not that they're not interested, I don't think we actually sat down and pursued it with them.
No,
So
I don't think so.
if the supervisor thinks that's the way we should go,
maybe they should vote to do that, and then someone sits down and talks to them.
What's involved with that, John? Give a quick explanation.
Well, they would have to go out and investigate, and if they determine that it's a public nuisance, then they would file a criminal complaint against them. It would go to the district justice office, and then if it could possibly end up in court. I mean, what we're filing are civil complaints. Sometimes when a police officer shows up at your door and you're charged with a criminal complaint, their individuals are a little more receptive to complying. But again, we can't tell the police officer has to file the charges. All we can do is ask him to go out and investigate, and if he feels as though that there are sufficient grounds for a public nuisance, then he or she can file the charges.
Well, our chief is aware of the situation, so I don't know if that would be an issue, because she's been out there many times herself, during the execution of those warrants to search the property. So she's very well aware of what's going on.
But a lot of police officers aren't aware of that public nuisance is even a crime. It's kind of it's not something they deal with every day. It's not like speeding or DUI.
Right.
But it is a crime in Pennsylvania, public nuisance.
So, does the board wish to talk with the chief and have the chief consider this?
Yeah, I think we need to discuss it, huh?
Okay, well, then I'll make a motion that we discuss this with the chief and make appropriate decisions from there with how we want to have this handled.
And I'll second.
All in favor? Is that good, Wendy?
Yes, thank you. And then if you could just announce the zoning hearing.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, all right, so we had 2 zoning hearing meetings here on, what date was that?
September 28th,
The 8th, September 8th.
2028.
The 28th, sorry. The one was for Malak for a variance to build amend all quarters on his property. He was granted permission to do that by the zoning hearing board. And the second one was a firing range to be built on a private property over on 16. The zoning hearing board decided to deny that applicant due to it didn't meet the exceptional use standards that were set forth in the ordinance, so that was denied. Okay.
Thank you.
Next thing in the zoning is our septic. You have in front of you probably, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 outstanding septics that have not come in compliance yet. So everyone else they've already had their first date in court, the violation. I believe they're asking, they want us to give them permission to file a second round.
Gonna file a second round. And even the people who pleaded guilty and paid their fines still have not pumped their septic.
Yes.
So
So they're still in non-compliance.
So they will get a notice, maybe that will tell them they still need to pump their septic, or they'll be cited again.
Yeah, so the sheet that you have in front of you shows people that is either pleaded guilty and still not pumped, or have still waiting for a trial.
Yeah, all of those have not pumped.
Yeah, so they're not pumped.
So they're still in violation.
I'll make a motion that our sewer enforcement take appropriate actions to proceed forward with getting these people in compliance.
I'll second the motion if that's what it was. I do have a question now.
That was what it was. So which question?
There's one that's undeliverable.
I talked to the magistrate about that. What happened was, and I did speak to the SEO, the SEO was not putting the owner address on some of the citations, he was putting the property address. So I did contact the SEO and the magistrate to get that cleared up. So the magistrate was trying to deliver to the property instead of the owner of the property.
So the undeliverable will be delivered.
That'll be resolved
Okay.
in these.
Okay. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
That's all we have there. All right, road department, let me see here. I'm the road department, I'll get it down here. All right, road department drove 523 miles in the 2500 and 63 miles in the 550. We used a total of 78 gallons of fuel in the of gasoline, 30 gallons of on-road diesel, and 26 of off-road diesel. This past month, we finished the shoulder work on McLaughlin and over up on Glad Hill. We had shoulder work up there, some pipes that needed to be attended to, so we did that. We did another round of mowing in the township. And then we had some trees that were down, we had to go out and clean those up, of course. Got a bid in, which that's a separate thing, got a bid for our propane for this coming 2023 season. We also had to attend yesterday with a meeting over on McLaughlin for road damage due to water runoff. So we met with the landowner, land conservation, the state highway department, liquid fuels, and also the contractor that laid the road, and determined that the road has about $8,566 to be exact in damage that needs to be repaired. So we shared this with the landowner and come up with a plan on what we need to do. So what needs to happen is the base repair needs to be repaired. It's 20 feet by 4 feet. The ditching needs to be done, about 70 feet worth of ditching, and then stabilize the ditching and to redirect the water coming off the man's property down across the ditch line. We also went over to Waynesboro Road with the liquid fuels rep and went over the bridge repair work that needs to be done in 2023. So he worked up some numbers for us here today for that, and also for the McLaughlin Road for projects for another McLaughlin Bullfrog Road paving for 2023. So the first thing I do is I give each one of you guys one of these if you have one. This is the estimate for the proposed project that needs to be done immediately to repair the road before winter. I thought I had extra copies there, yes we do. But anyhow, you can see there about 9 square yards of base repair, 6 inches of stone, another 6 inches of 2A 25 millimeter paving over top of 6 inches of stone, and then another 2 inches of 9.5 millimeter of asphalt on top of that, at a price of $4,905.36. The ditch excavating, replacing a fabric in the ditch with the R4 stones to prevent this from happening again. 70 feet, as I said, it's $2,037. Mobilizing the ditch and bringing in their equipment to do this stuff is another $1,624 for a total price of $8,566.54. Any questions?
Nope.
You know where we're at 820 McLaughlin Road?
Yep.
Do you have any questions?
No question.
We'll make a motion that we go ahead and give New Enterprise out there and get them to repair this road before winter and just alleviate this problem.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, the other thing you had, I don't know, did you print out copies for those guys? For the proposals for, this is just a proposal. We'll get you copies of it next month, in the next couple of weeks, we have a budget meeting. Bullfrog Road, from the municipal line, approximately 1.6 miles in length, 20 feet wide. Base repair is directed by the township. Furnish and replace a scratch leveling coat over top of Bullfrog Road and a finishing course of 12.5 millimeter of blacktop, and adjust the seals of driveways and seal all the joints and paving notches. Looking at about 2,250 tons of 12.5 millimeter. If we go, the 12.5 millimeter is about $4 cheaper than the 9.5 this year, but at this past year's current rate of $85 a ton, subtract that, go down to $81 a ton. For the paving, we're looking at about $180,000 one fall rate. A lane.
At 12.5, didn't
Yes.
the guy from Liquid Fuel say that would hold up better than the 9.5 because it's a heavier mix?
It's a heavier mix for tractor and trailers, correct? Yeah. Yeah. And the scratch leveling coat would be put on as 9.5. They put 9.5. They put that there as a scratch coat to
Yeah.
fill in any potholes or anything like that, and then they'll come back over top of it with the 12.5 for your final coat. So right now, haven't got all the numbers together. We're just estimating at the price of this year, and he's thinking that would be good, pricing at about $81 a ton. Probably somewhere around $180,000 to $200,000 just for bullfrog grain. So that's something to think about as you're moving forward with the budget.
I'll put that in the budget plan then.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
look
the
at it.
other one is, 302, is Road 302, the old Rainsboro Bridge project that we've been working on this year. We need to do something with the decking. We didn't do any more with it this year on the deck. But it's 360 yards for the bridge deck. That's waterproof membrane on that decking. Same thing, $81 a ton to do that. We did get a price this past year from a bridge contractor for the decking about $38,000, but it wasn't in the budget for us to do that, so we didn't do it. So that's another thing you can think about. You can use liquid fuels for the budget, for the bridge. I didn't think we could, but yes, we can.
Well, I got a question about that. I've
Go
been
ahead.
thinking about that bridge.
Yeah.
Kind of been a thorn in our side to get that done.
This has been a corner itself, I don't think.
Why would we have to tear up what's there on that deck to put down a new deck? I know we gotta put a membrane down. Why couldn't you put that membrane down
You
and
still-
then put your asphalt down?
Oh, you can't do that, Bobby, because you gotta blend it in with the rest of the road.
Yeah, I
So you
know.
gotta notch it out and bring it back down to the level of the rest of the road, unless you're gonna do the whole entire road. Then you can do the whole entire road, yes. And then you just cut the notches out each end.
What if you went beyond the bridge 40 feet on each side or something?
You still have to notch the road.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And blend
And
it
you have to grind that all off and
Yeah.
bring it down, so you're still taking it down and putting a new deck on.
Right.
That's why.
I just thought I'd pose that question because I thought, I don't know why we couldn't do an overlay with a membrane between them.
Well, you can, but you still have to
Yeah.
notch the bridge, you have to notch each end, and to do that, to get it level with the rest of the road, you gotta bring it down whatever the rest of the road is, so the rest of the road is 2 inches, you gotta notch it, take 2 inches out to bring that in level with the next part of the road. You gotta limit it all, man.
I
Unless you
understand.
have, oh,
I knew that.
okay.
Excellent.
Any other questions on that? On the road department? No? Okay. I wanted to say too, I want to go back real quickly here to the police department. We had to take the car up to get new brakes put on the car yesterday. I got a phone call today that the car is ready to be picked up soon. Bobby, if you can work it out, I don't know if one of our police officers will be here tomorrow or not. I think they are supposed to be. It's ready to be picked up when we return. All right, next to the planning commission.
The Planning Commission did meet on the 20th of September to review ordinance 350.438 in reference to the submission by Nolan Holdings for a special exception for range on Old Windsboro Pike. The commission found that they did not meet requirement C of the ordinance, which says that you cannot have a dwelling within 1,000 feet. And Dominic brought a map that showed that there are at least 2 houses, and we looked at that, and we also looked at the one on the laptop that Rich had. There are definitely 2 houses And there was another structure that we weren't sure if it was a residence or an accessory, building. So we, voted to communicate this information to Mr. Easton, the attorney for the zoning hearing board, which I did prior to the zoning hearing board meeting.
Okay. Thank you, and I think they took appropriate actions at the zoning hearing board to answer those concerns. I deny the applicant. Thank you again. Secretary Treasurer.
I prepared a draft budget, you have it in your packet, and, noted on there in red is where I have made changes, from last year's budget to this year's budget to estimate for 2023. And I would like you to look over that particular document and give me your proposed numbers for the 2023 budget within the next 2 weeks, so we can have it for review at the November meeting. That's it.
Okay. Anyone have any questions about the budget process?
Nope.
Okay, so please study that and make your recommendations if you can. We'll move forward on the budget. We have to pass the budget in our December meeting. And adopt it in January 1st at the regular meeting. All right, we got no old business, none of, anybody got old business? All right, we'll move to public comment on the new business. Do we have any public comment under the new business? Hearing none, we'll move on. The first item we have is item A, is consider a motion to approve the request for a waiver of planned subdivision. I can't even see that name, but whatever.
Submission, it just says, oh, that,
Yeah.
Parentoni.
Parentis?
Parentoni.
Yeah, in revised subdivision and lot recombination. We discussed this before about recombinating some of these lots in the Charnita area and stuff like that. Does anyone have any problems with doing this with here?
No, make a motion to approve.
Thank you.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, so that was the motion for the waiver, thank you.
Yes. Absolutely.
And then the next is the final.
Yep. Consider a motion to approve the lot recombination plans, the same lot. I make a motion that we approve those.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. C, acknowledge the receipt of the 2022 September 19 zoning hearing board's application for a special exception, 17-9 South Hardball Valley Road, Operation Second Chance at Indoor Dining Room. Make a motion that we accept and acknowledge that we have received that.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
My papers here.
I don't think I have anything in there for that, the fire distribution.
One thing to do.
I didn't see anything.
Basically, I've been communicating to you that we've received the money from the state. And normally, we, give 50 to Countdale, 50 to Fairfield. I was just wondering if you had any changes from past, that you, or you just wish to continue to give half to Fairfield, half to Countdale.
Half and half, yeah.
Okay,
Make a motion that we get half and half as we've been doing in the past.
We're not gonna consider the amount of calls like we had in the past?
No, that's a different thing.
that's for donation, this is
That's
the
for
state.
donation. This is for
This is
state
just the
money.
Oh, okay, two different things, right?
Yeah,
This is fire relief.
Yes.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item number E is consider request from the Office of Reason. If you have a copy in front of you for the board, and the solicitor to sign this grant. He has requested a grant for computers for the new car and for the old cars, an upgrade on that, so he put in a grant for that. And he's asking that we review that grant and give him approval to submit it. It's time sensitive, so we have until October the 13th to submit this grant. So Mr. Lisco would need you to review that and sign off and myself before the due date.
Is it ready?
We'll have
Is
to
this it, just this letter?
No,
No,
we'll have to speak to Officer Ruby about that,
Yeah.
so I don't have the rest of the information.
Okay, yeah, I mean,
So if he gives it to you in time to review your,
I'm around the next few weeks, I'm not going
okay,
anywhere.
I will
so-
let him know to contact you,
Okay.
if this goes through agreement.
all right, so, the board, is the board okay with him submitting a grant to get new computers for the vehicles?
I'll make that motion or second, whichever's in order.
Moving
Got a second?
I'll second
All in
or,
favor?
great.
it.
The next one on item F is consider a Huffman Home for Youth request for some of your ARP funds. How do you guys feel about this? This is the youth center out near Harney, Maryland, just over the PA line that houses youth, troubled youth with all kinds of different issues. But they've asked if we would consider making a donation.
Man, everybody's got their hand out for the ARPs.
Yeah, they do. You're not obligated. They just ask.
I'll make a motion that we pass on this one, not consider anything at this point.
Okay.
I kinda think we should talk about it,
Okay.
honestly.
Go ahead and talk about it. Who's supervisor talking about it?
Even though it is across the line and everything, and it's a little further away from us than in most places, that ask for donations, I mean, they're young kids that need help. You know? It's, not a good place to be. you know?
Well, do you have a recommendation of what you think might be a good donation?
No, I didn't.
Do you want me to go back to them and ask for more information and ask them to propose something? We can consider in November?
Yeah.
I'll do that.
In
Is that
their,
what you want?
in their letter, they said
Were they
that they would,
specific with an amount?
no, I think they said though they would come and make a presentation.
Okay, I will
Oh.
talk to them and see if they wanna come and give us something in November.
Okay.
The board wants that?
You cool with that?
All right.
Alright, the board's cool with that. We'll invite him to come and make a presentation to the board.
I will take care of that.
Thank you.
I'll cover the next one.
Yes, an intermunicipal agreement.
I've been contacted by Freedom. I believe that, you had, Mr. Barlow, or one of you have attended the Freedom meeting recently,
I did.
Mr. Barlow, and, they responded positively to, your presentation, and they've asked us to draft an intermunicipal agreement for them to review next week. I will draft something similar to what we have at Ham Command and have you review that for me before I submit it.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep, that works. Thank you much. We appreciate that. It was glad that they did receive, the information I shared with them in a great manner, and also shared with them about the FEMA program, Fairfield Regional Emergency
They
Management.
have no interest in that.
No, that's not true.
Oh, in it?
No.
I thought Zach put in there, but at the time, they didn't have any interest.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He said they do have an interest. They was not aware that there was a Fairfield Regional Emergency Management Agency.
Okay.
Yeah, so they are interested. But they were supposed to take that up with the agency itself. I just presented it. All right, the last thing we have on here is, I got a proposal from, Mason's Propane. I did reach out to 3 different propane dealers. Mason came back with the lowest price, a lock-in price of $1.85 per gallon. And that runs until May of 2023, which we don't get any propane after that anyhow. So they're willing to sign a contract with us to provide us with the fuel for the township this coming winter for $1.85 per gallon, which I'll make a motion that we approve that, because I couldn't get it cheaper anywhere
I'll
else.
second it, because that is a good price.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we'll notify them that they signed the contract to do that, and get them set up for delivery. All right, anybody else have anything for the, yes?
I just wonder, is the zoning hearing board meeting set for the stable show?
I will contact you about that.
No, I don't think so, not at the moment. Anything else? All right, it's now 4:39. I'll make a motion for adjournment. All in favor?
Aye.
Adam, I'll look into that thing. with the trees, and then we'll check with, our zoning guys and go out and check that.
I'll call Rusty, is that right?
Oh, thank you.